Hi everyone, so I am back with another video. This is my February reading wrap up. I have read 15 books in February. That's a lot. I'm not even going to deny that's not a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, so I'm just going to start out by saying most of these are romance books. I took part in Steph Loves. I will attempt to put a link to her YouTube channel in the description. Whether that actually works out, or whether I actually remember to do that, I don't actually know. But I will try. She ran a readathon for 1 week in February, but I did it as like the whole month. This is really bugging me the way this is angled. Called Cliterature. Yes, get all your giggles out and whatnot. It's called Cliterature, and it basically, I did it for the whole month because I don't do readathons. They're not really my thing. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this one though. And it was loads of prompts and stuff. Do I remember what half the prompts were? No, I do not. But I read quite a few of these books for this, which actually narrowed down my actual huge, massive TBR that I seem to be curating, and I can't stop curating it. So, I'm going to shut up because I keep talking. So yes, took part in that, and then towards the end of the month did some just spot reading. And I read quite a few arcs, so I am just going to go through the arc titles, because reviews will be coming shortly. 2 are already up. So, we have When the Fairy Tale Crumbled by Madison Sheldon, and I gave that a 3-star. Fated in Secrets, which is the second in the Nocturne Vampire Clan, by L.A. McGuinness, I gave that a 4-star. Devious Delusions by A.X. Cole, I gave that a 2-star. Broken by Tina S. Transformation, I gave that a 4-star. Torn by Megan James, and I gave that a 2-star. So, arcs were very hit and miss this month. I am taking a break now because there's seriously too many. So now I'm going to go into the books I actually read. So we are starting off, you can actually see it, I love this cover. The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rash. So this is about Cole. So he is the Prince of Christmas, but he isn't keen on the idea of Christmas. His father, who is actually the Reigning Santa, has turned Christmas into this PR stunt. So it's all political nonsense, basically. And he gets into trouble quite a lot. So then he is destined to marry the Princess of Easter, but he gets thrown this kind of rival, Hex, who's the Prince of Halloween. So it's a really, really cute romance. Gave this 5 stars. So it got very into the world of the holiday politics, which was really, really cool. And the meaning, and it had a very well upheld spirit, and I don't know what that piece of verse doing. The characters of Cole and Hex are very like charismatic characters. Written perfectly. The love romance was written very well. Perfectly timed. The large moments and the small moments were equally written. I've just got books digging into my leg. Let's push them that way. There we go. So, yeah, perfect. So now I have to create 2 stacks, so I've got some unhauls in here as well. Then we have probably one of the most controversial books in this pile. I say that, but wait till we get to the biography at the end. Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton. Yes, I read this as literature. So, this is about a haunted house thing traveling circus palaver. And it's about a girl called Sybil. Sybil likes to cleanse the world of bad. And she has 4 henchmen as well. So she hides within the walls of the dollhouse. She casts judgment, she can smell evil, and she sings lullabies. So then she picks a person out and then, obviously, kills them. I gave this one 4 stars. Because I actually liked the writing style of this. It definitely paints a picture of how every victim is killed. Like the Terrifier movies, if you've ever seen them. I love them. It's a very Terrifier movie-esque gore factor. Very good ending, but slightly predictable. But then again, that's my psychology diploma playing its part. She's very unhinged, but I like her. I like unhinged people. That sounds weird. You get what I mean. Next one. Sadly, this one actually disappointed me. So this is If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. So this is about Ruben and Zach, who are 2 members of this very well-known band. They are basically like teen heartthrobs. They're best friends backstage, but manager has pressure on Ruben to stay in the closet, and he can only confide in Zach. And then they become to rely on each other through like the tour and whatnot. Close friendship evolves into romance, and you get the gist. I gave this 3 stars. It was nothing spectacular at all. For liking Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez, you could really tell this was written by 2 authors, and the writing styles do not match at all. So, the bad management is copy and paste of what exactly happened to One Direction. Bar the in the closet thing. And actually many other bands like Boyzone, Little Mix, Fifth Harmony, even solo singers like Justin Bieber. Basically, it's about a set of teenagers who are young and get exploited by management, which happens in both acting and music, and it's sad. It read very much like every single fan fiction written on the subject, so the Larry writers especially, it read very much like one of those. And some of the fan fictions are actually written even better than this book was. I feel like I'm really sleeting on this. I apologise if this is one of your favourite books, but it's not. The romance was okay, nothing spectacular. It's very YA. And it had a lot of darker themes as well, like drugs, suicide, and suicide, as you have to say on the internet now. Stupid censorship. And things like that, which were explored too far for a young adult. Way too far. For like a 11 to 13, and no. 14 upwards, yes, but 11 to 13, no. No way would you hand this to them. Yeah. I thought it was going to be good, and I was wholly disappointed. So instead, on the whole pile, it goes. Now this one is being on hold, but not for a bad reason. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So this is about Liz, who has always known that Wes Bennett is not boyfriend material. So his next door neighbour kind of bully romance, I would even put it as. He's always kind of like bullying her, teasing her, kind of thing. And then this, then she ends up needing this help to kind of pull this guy that she's fancied for a very, very long time. And instead of fancying him, she ends up fancying Wes. It's a rom-com like When Harry Met Sally, Tom Hanks, literally everyone, Bridget Jones. Trying to think of some rom-com movies. Love Actually, Sweet Home Alabama, Notting Hill. The Wedding Date. I watch a lot of rom-coms. I'd literally watch When Harry Met Sally, and that was the only one, and I loved it. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's got quotes in from a lot of rom-coms. It's a 4-star. Wow, I whistled on about that synopsis for a long while. It's a very well-written YA romance. I love the rom-com quotes. I'll show you one, actually. That's the 10 things I hate about you. They're always at the top of the chapters. The tension between Liz and Wes is actually quite a charming one. It's long drawn but not slow, so it's just enough to make you root for them but not to get bored. And the flirty moments are cute, and there's very like sarcastic quips in there as well. This is just getting on hold because it's a read it once, kind of not read it again situation for me. But I did really like it and would recommend it. Then, on my Kindle, I read Fight, which is part of the Skyridge Hot Shots series by Sloane St. James. So this is about Callahan, who fights wildfires. And he's he's a captain of the Intengrency Hotshot crew of the Wildland Firefighters. That was hard to say. And then he meets Prescott, who is a smart-mouthed adventurous spirit, and has him forget every rule he's ever written for himself. And she ends up in a life and death situation, and he has to help her. So, this was a 5-star, and I would actually like to continue reading this series. They had an amazing connection with each other. They were very strongly written characters, but also allow themselves to have their own character development, as well as individually and together. And they have individual traumas, which is very well written and respectfully written. Then, we go to another one of my favourites, The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. So this is about Florence Day, who is a ghostwriter. She no longer believes in love after a very bad breakup, and she meets her new editor, who refused to give her an extension on her book deadline. And then she heads home after her dad dies, and she expects to see a ghost is at her front door. Ghost is not of her dad, but of her new editor. And then they kind of fall in love, but as he's a ghost, which is pretty cool. I like paranormal things. I have a couple of ghosts in my house. Ghost friends. So, this was a 5-star. I've probably creeped a lot of you out now. This was another 5-star. I found a lot of 5 stars as well in this, which is really good. So the characters are written in a way where you actually found quite really nice attachments to them. Excuse me. The actual romance actually was more of a side quest than a main plot point, so it was more organically happening. It was actually more of a journey of self-discovery and love meant in more than one way, which was amazing. I loved this. Yay. And then the next one, Where the Waves Break by Julia Wolfe. So this is a former rock star, grumpy sunshine, single dad, teenage crush romance. Nanny romance as well in there. I DNF this at 45%. I could no longer... 45% is quite a high percentage for me to DNF something, but I could no longer go on. I wanted to keep it because of the cover. I really like the cover. The characters were one-dimensional. Ready for another slated. Zero chemistry. Zilch. Diego was not a grumpy man nor a protective father. He was just a douchebag. An absolute douchebag. And a terrible father. There's being protective and protecting your son. Then there's just being an asshole. An asshole. It's a good job these videos don't get monetized, isn't it? He would not let his son do this. He would not let his son do that. This is going. It's 1 star. It's going. 1 star is for the cover design. I don't even want to touch that book. So I moved on to something a little bit darker. I can't even pick this up. Hunting Adeline by H.C. Carlton. This is part of the cat and mouse duet. I will not give you a synopsis. I do like the quote though on the back that death walks alongside me, but the Reaper is no match for me. Get that tattooed. I will not be getting that tattooed. This is another 5 star. And this is a very heavy book, so I'm going to get on with this. The trafficking aspect, spoiler alert, is written so well and actually realistic. It's so floppy. That was unserious. It was realistic to how it is in life. It actually shows there is no easy escape for Addie. And Addie actually took a lot of control in this book, which was nice. It's also nice seeing Zaid lose a little bit of sense of self. And getting to see him actually work to save the other girls was really cool. So I actually do recommend the Cat and Mouse duet. I do recommend reading Satan's Affair as well, because Sigurd does appear in Hunting Adeline. Where's Molly? Read it after Hunting Adeline, which I need to get my hands on. Then I attempted When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker on my Kindle. I DNF this at 20% because the main character was annoying, the world building was confusing, the writing style would have been good if it was actually done well. Prose only works if you actually understand the meaning of what you're actually writing and not just randomly plucking words out of a damn thesaurus. I think some of these authors will hate me. That's how it is though. Because I bet she was thinking, oh, this sounds like a pretty word. Boom. Yeah. That's where we were going with When the Moon Hatched. And, So, that I DNF'd at 20% and give it 1 star. Right. I'm making sure I've not papercut myself. I don't think you can get much more controversial than this. If you're Whovian, you might like this. Anything Goes by John Barrowman. This is my signed copy. My signed copy. Not signed to me though. Ta-da! I can't really give you a synopsis of an autobiography. That's just not how that works. But I can tell you this was a 5 star and will be staying firmly in my hands. This was basically like having a cup of tea with John Barrowman in a coffee shop. Which is normally where you drink coffee. A coffee, cup of tea, whatever. And having a lovely conversation about his life. There's so much honesty and determination with this. I loved it. Sliding out of its trust jacket. And there's also a lot of comedy in there as well. there's nothing else I can really say. I loved it. It's hilarious. Yeah, so this is Keepy Keep. So that is literally everything I have read in February for literature and outside of literature. I need to stop saying the word literature. So yeah. So there's 3 that are leaving my collection and 3 that are staying, which is nice. So I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.